So, my message that I would like to portray this morning is, obviously it's in the title, so if you clicked on it, and I want to start by saying this isn't an anti-Islam or anti-Muslim video. I just want to point out some hypocrisy, and I think my message to some Muslims would be, and obviously I work with people like that, I'm around people like that, I live in an area where there's predominantly Muslims, so as much as I could sit here till the cows come home and say that there's problems or pretend we haven't got problems, that's neither here nor there. My main thing at the minute, I just think it stinks of hypocrisy to the point where I would rather personally see Muslims just be honest with themselves and put out independent candidates. Because the bottom line is, from a standpoint of view and from everything that I've learned about the Quran and Islam, because I'll be honest with you, being somebody that's been religiously homeless for a while and trying to find his faith, I did explore Islam. I can't help but feel that Muslims that follow Green Party or turn around and say, the Ummah needs to support the Green Party, you're just full of Sierra Hotel India Tango, basically. Bull. Because fundamentally, there is not a party that is further away than the teachings of Islam than the Green Party. So when you sit there and you come out and support it, you are either displaying ignorance, or you are a kafir, or even your agenda is dangerous. Apologies for that, my radio decided to give it Larry Large ones. So yeah, I think it shows your ideology is being very dangerous. And the proof is in the pudding. Let's talk about one of their main policies, which is to legalize the use of drugs, legalize drugs. So in Islam, there is a saying, forgive me if I butcher the saying, Khemer, basically it's spelled Khemer, which basically the Prophet Muhammad categorizes everything that harms the body as thus, essentially making it haram. So to stand by a political party that wants to legalize all these drugs is just silly, and it goes against everything in the Quran and in the belief system. And it's the same with lesbians, gay and bisexual. In the Quran it is clearly stated, the action of homosexuality is forbidden completely. And the Green Party, whether you like it or not, whether you stand for it or not, a lot of their societal basis is based around the LGBTQI plus. Like I say, I'm not saying I've got anything wrong. I mean, we can address that to certain things. I've got nothing against gay people, nothing against lesbian people. If people want to be bisexual, that's their prerogative. My main situation has always been, we need to be conservative, as in, keep your sexuality behind closed doors. I don't openly talk about my sexuality, and I don't expect anybody else. I define somebody on the content of their character, not where they choose to stick their genitals. That's my reality of it. But you have a Green Party that bases a lot of its premises and its policies around supporting LGBTQ. And, to turn around and support Green Party and to support that is haram. It's silly. And it's the same with transgenderism. People will turn around and try and gaslight you and say, oh yeah, but there's some sects of Islam that do allow for transgenderism. And let me tell you this, those ones are, there's always a political agenda with that. Most of the time it's sunny. And take, for example, the IRGC. The IRGC for a long time have adopted a culture of weaken the masses. And with them accepting of transgenderism from their own art, from their own scholars, from their own text, you can research this up. They allow people to transition to cause what's the word, division in society. Sorry, I lost my thought there. To cause division, and the division means they can easily conquer these people. So yeah, so again, it's a case of, my honest opinion is, Muslims that support Green Party are looking for an agenda of division, and this is dangerous. So I think the strong, convicted Muslims just need to be honest. Need to be honest with their intentions, be honest with themselves, and stop this gaslighting of people, and stop supporting a political party that is completely against your ideology, because all it does is show you how lost and divided we are going to be. If genuine moderate Muslims want to create a society, because the Prophet Muhammad again spoke about Christianity and said that the people that are most associated with Muslims are the Christians, because obviously Jesus was named as Peace, I believe his name was. He was a prophet, he is a prophet in Islam, and when you talk about the coming of the Dajjal, it's not Muhammad that comes down and defeats the Dajjal, it's Jesus. So if you want to live side by side with Christian society, which is what England is, it's a Christian society, whether it's got its flaws or not, the moderate Muslims need to speak out, and you need to say, no, enough of this nonsense. We're not going to support and side with a political party that is completely against what we stand for. Stop the gaslighting, stop the BS, be honest with yourselves, and if there's any chance of us assimilating and living alongside each other, you've got to stop this nonsense or change my mind.